Welcome, one and all. Today is Thursday, January 26, 2017, and this is Mastermind Call 110. We're going in our second millennium of calls here, so that's awesome, guys. That's a good way to put it, right? I got a laugh from my partner by putting it that way. Well, since you're laughing, Tim, let's start off with our CEO. Anything you want to share with the group?
Is that second millennium thing one of those alternative facts?
Yes, sir, it is. Don't get political. Take it away, Tim. Anything you want to share?
Not a thing, bud. We're rocking and rolling. We're having a great month. We hope everybody else is as well. I think the world is spinning appropriately on its axis, and business is moving right along, and we're just looking forward to helping y'all have a great year this year. Let's get rolling.
Excellent. And we've been teasing them with some new stuff that's coming out, just like we did. The website is up and running. It's efficient. We've got some great news surprises for you guys in the next 30 to 60 days. So please, if you're ever going to come on these mastermind calls, do it for the next month. We'll be sharing some great new stuff with you over the next few weeks. Chad, anything from a training perspective that you'd like to share?
February Mastery is coming up not next week, but the following. So the dates are the 6th, 8th, and 10th. And those sessions start at 2 p.m. and run anywhere from an hour to 2 hours in January. If you're interested, watch your email. I'll send the emails out probably starting tomorrow and next week. Or you can go to Education and Training on our website and sign up there. And thanks to internet problems this morning, I didn't get the weekly tips from the trainer out, but I'll have that done before the end of the day. There's a new video blog for you guys that I will post to Facebook and probably email to you.
Excellent. And I get asked a lot, Chad, we've had hundreds of people go through the mastery course, and if you've taken it, if you took it 2, 3, 4, 6 months ago, a year ago, it's improving all the time. If you're a alumni of that course, you're welcome to take it again, and just let Chad know, and he'll get you signed up. Also, Chad, you want to share with them next Wednesday is the monthly role play call.
Yeah, so the first Wednesday of every month, we host a probate role play call. So at 2 p.m. Eastern, and kind of like this call, we allow half an hour, but if we go over, then we go over. So it just depends on how interactive you guys are. So mark your calendars if you don't have it already. Wednesday the 1st at 2 p.m. And you'll also see emails on Monday and Tuesday about that.
And that call, this, by the way, is an open forum, guys. We have nobody in the queue. There's nothing that's off limits here. There's no bad questions. If you're having a frustration, an issue, a challenge, a success, anything you want to share, and we finally do have someone in the queue. Thank you, Joe. We'll get to you in just a second. The role play call is a little different. It's kind of like Jeopardy. It's got to be in the form of the question. The role play, if you have a specific question, we ask you to put it in the form of a role play, and our coach trainer will role play with you. Places maybe you're getting stuck, maybe things that are keeping you from making the calls, anything like that you're running into that is kind of a roadblock, or you feel like you could do better as far as actually contacting these people. That's the purpose of that call. So, Tom, thank you. Chad, Tom, anything from a customer service perspective you want to share?
Nothing specific today, but just to remind everybody, if they need help on anything, just send us an email to support@alltheleads.com, and we'll get back to you as quickly as possible.
Excellent. And on our website, support@alltheleads is there. Also, about 2 months ago, we went to a new phone system, and we have a new phone number. The old number still works, but the new one we would prefer if you use that. It's basically 1-844-LEAD-FOX, and I don't even know what number that translates to. I believe it's 844-532-3369. And when you call that number, you're going to get a menu, a really brief menu, for sales, press a certain number for customer service, for technical support. But listen to that, and that'll direct you right away to the best person to help you. And it's the same thing with the support at all the leads. If you'll be real specific about what you need help with, all of us read that, all of the partners and in our employees, and the best person to help you will usually get right back to you. I think our response time is less than 20 minutes, so we're real fanatical about getting back to you and helping you if you need help. So we have one person in the queue. We've got room for probably 10 more, so hit *6 and hit 1, and you'll be up next. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and take our first caller. Phone number ending in 7439, you're up.
Hi, my name is Nicole. I just had a quick question for you guys. Today when we logged into all the leads, we saw that you guys were soon going to be doing a vacant house list. I just wanted to see if you knew when that was going to start coming about, or if you can give me any information on that.
Tim, you want to, yeah, absolutely. I didn't know that we were going to do that already, but if it's on the website, I guess we should, when you logged into our website, it mentions it already?
So right before I logged in, so I just went to the website, it said coming soon. There was like 4 different tabs. That was one of them.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Nicole, you're the first person to notice that. We weren't even planning on talking about it yet. But
okay.
Tim, as our CEO, you want to give him just we don't have anybody else in the queue. So Chad, why don't you do it? Give him an overview of the coming attractions. And guys, we have room for more questions. Hit *6 and hit pound, and we've got plenty of room. There's no one else in the queue. Thanks for the question, Nicole. Chad, I'll let you go over it. Would you? Coming attractions.
Thanks for letting the cat out of the bag, right? So we are very excited to, we're in beta testing right now for a vacant house program. And it's not clear exactly what it's going to be. We're looking at lead counts and trends across the country of when houses go vacant, why houses go vacant, and how many houses go vacant in each of your markets. And some really interesting data. The one thing we know for sure is that if a house has a mortgage on it, there's no one living in it, and the payments are being made, that there's obviously a lot of motivation there to sell. And if we can determine that that's not a vacation property, that it's a typical property, then it's a very good listing lead. It can also be other, really good leads for investors. It can be really good for lenders, for anyone who's doing. We can target short sales. So what we're kind of testing right now is what's the basic overlay to make this a valuable listing lead. And what we'll be able to do is look at every vacant house. We'll be able to look at the equity level, each of the mortgages, all the tax information, MLS data if it's ever been there, and kind of use all that to help. And we're going to simplify this where you guys don't have to be as big of a geek as we are. We're going to geek out on the data and just bring the best listing leads to the top. And this will encompass trust. It will encompass, pretty much any reason a house can go vacant. It could be trust, it could be divorce, it could be bankruptcy, it could be incarceration, you name it, job relocation. So it's going to roll all these to the top. And we're looking at probably in the next 60 days, it should be available to at least our subscribers.
Okay.
I hope so. There's always surprises when you're doing things like this for the first time. So, but we have, we're very close to it, and it will be an incredible lead source. And the reason we love it so much is it's very complementary to what we're already doing. So for those of you who have kind of built the team around yourself and really had gotten that provide value first mindset, that for probate, it's going to work just as well or better for vacant houses. So it's about asking good questions. Why is the house vacant? How can I help you? What can I do to make your life easier? And there could be, a myriad of different reasons that it is vacant. So you having a team of people and a wide scope of service will be able to help in hopefully in all those situations. So that's kind of an overview. Pricing and everything is to be determined. Like I said, we're looking at lead counts right now and how many homes go vacant, and then we'll determine kind of the pricing for that. But it should be, this spring you guys will be able to have a really, really unique lead source that I don't think anybody else has offered.
Yeah, that's really exciting because we also we have a property management company as well. So, I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand. If they're not looking to sell it and it's sitting vacant,
Right.
let us help you rent it out. So, yeah we're really excited when we saw that.
Great question.
So,
Nicole, you're relatively new to the probate side of things, correct?
No, I work with Eric Fine. We've been doing this for a little over a year. I believe
Awesome.
it was not this October, last October.
Good to hear. Yeah, I didn't recognize your name, so good.
All right, thank you.
Any success stories off the top of your head that there's no one else in the queue, so I'll talk to you for a minute, Nicole. In the meantime, please, guys, hit *6 and then hit pound if you would like to be the next person. Last week
we are about to close on a probate. It was a great house on a lake in our area, and we went through the motions. We had all the things that could happen with the heirs and people trying to get on the same page and working with the attorneys and assisting them in any way, and they are just super happy with us. They are just really, really happy that we've handled everything and been able to go the extra mile and really care about them more than the sale. So they've really been able to pick up on that. And so it's been really great for us, and that should be closing this upcoming month.
Wonderful. And you do have the team that we suggest. People ask me often, do I have to put this team together? And obviously you don't have to, but it really distinguishes you from anyone else in your market. You have the standard team that we recommend, Nicole, or do you have extra people?
We do, and I think that is important because, especially when you're making the first call, a lot of the people, they don't want to talk about the real estate. That's, so you have to really not start talking about the real estate. It's got to be more like Chad always says, talking to these people about, okay, well, we've been dealing with probate and helping families with the probate process for a while. It's not about just if there's real estate. It's about what I can help you with. We have this really great team of people, and that's kind of where I start when I make these calls so that they know I'm not just calling them like, a million other calls they're getting just to say, how can I sell this estate? How can I sell the property? It's how can I help you with the property? And I think that really makes the big difference.
Excellent. Thank you, Coach Nicole. I appreciate it. Anything you want to add to what she said, Chad?
No, it's great. I mean, it's just awesome to hear that you're doing well and following the system. Great.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for participating.
Thank you.
And like I said, Nicole, thanks for accidentally bringing that to everyone's attention. So you got us to announce it. You got us to announce it about 30 days early. Thanks for that.
Oh man, thank you.
You're very welcome. We have two other people in the queue. Again, hit *6 and hit 1 if you would like to actively participate. Next up is the phone number ending in 8222. You're up.
Hi, this is Phil, and I just started to get leads and did my first mailing in the last week or so. So I know I had sent a message about sort of a probate script, which was sent over to me, but I guess just looking to the folks that have sort of started this and have, seen some success, and I think Nicole had mentioned about trying to avoid, talking about real estate initially, but can someone just kind of walk through, what might be a good way to sort of start a conversation? Because this is different than other, leads that I've worked in the past, and there's always, of course, that sensitivity about someone having just recently passed. So, hoping for some guidance in that regard.
Sure, and I would like for, obviously that's for you, Chad. One thing I did want to mention, Philip, I always share with agents, that seems to be the biggest fear agents have, and honestly, 3 years doing this, all of us, I don't think we've heard of 10 cases of, maybe 10 people have actually gotten blasted for calling, because on average, it's 3 to 4 months from the date of death until the probate gets filed. So by the time we give you the information, the heirs are at least past the grieving enough that they've made the business decision that they need to list the property. They need to deal with the estate. And the person you're reaching out to is typically not local. It's maybe the oldest of several children. He or she is probably splitting the proceeds with a couple siblings, and they have a life of their own, and they got this dumped on them. So the overwhelming response we get from agents is that these tend to be the most grateful, appreciative, cooperative, willing to price it right customers that they ever get. That doesn't mean that you won't get blasted occasionally, but it's really the exception rather than the rule. And I just wanted to add that. And Chad, share with Philip a good opening script, if you would, or a good opening conversation.
Yeah, so we covered this in the January role play call, and not to dodge the question, Philip. I think that you'll get a more thorough answer if you listen to that. And just to remind you guys, you can always go when you're logged into subscriber portal. If you look on the left under training, you'll see conference calls. And when you click that link at the top, there's a blue button for call archives. And it was role play call, I think number 15. It was in January of 2017. But one of the first scenarios that we ran through was just this. So after this call, you can listen to that. The easiest way to smoothly start the conversation is so when these people hear from you, they don't know who you are, they don't know how you got their information, they're wondering how you got probably their cell phone number, and how you know that someone passed away and they're an executor. So you need to hit those things head on and get those out on the very front. And it's what I call the probate USP, or unique selling proposition. So who am I? Why am I reaching out? How did I get your information? What unique value can I bring to you? And then I want to end on a question to reset their thinking, so they're not, they're the whole time they're probably thinking about what they're going to say to me. And if they're planning on giving me an earful, especially, then I want to end on a question, so we kind of change their state. So just focus on those points. Hi, my name's Phil. I sent you a letter last week. I just wanted to make sure you understood why it is we did that. We have a team of professionals here locally, built specifically for helping people who are in the probate process. And as part of that, we actually go to the courthouse and gather data and proactively reach out, because we've found that we've helped so many families. And your name came up in that. So, I just wanted to call and kind of help you understand what it is we do, from, getting homes sold quickly to getting them cleaned out and the proper personal property sold, to even renovating the home completely. There's a lot of things we can do. It really starts with us understanding your goals, Philip, and then making some suggestions and providing options for you guys to choose from, and you choose how we work together. And I didn't even ask, is there a home in the estate that you would like to sell, Philip? So I've given you a lot to process there, but you now know at least my name, that I'm a real estate professional, that I am, proactive and ambitious enough to go do the research to find out that they are an executor, then find their phone number, give them a call. I can get personal property sold. I can renovate houses. I don't even remember what he said on the other thing, and oh my God, he just asked me if there was a house for sale. So you'll typically get a pause in there, and it can be short or kind of awkwardly long, but let that pause happen. And what usually happens 9 times out of 10 is they will spill the entire story, and that's where you start to build rapport and move with the conversation. I've tried it many, many different ways, and that's the most successful way I've ever done it. And you're going to get blasted. I mean, there will come a point for all of us where somebody takes it the wrong way, and, it's their ego speaking. Usually it's don't take it personally. They don't know you, and that's why I stress and fast track, be real clear on why you're doing this, and always reinforce, listen, I'm doing the right things for the right reasons, and I'm helping people. And just let those roll off your back. It's going to happen. And you can hear that actually in a role play scenario in the January role play call. And if you want, you can come on Wednesday and put yourself in the hot seat, and we'll role play through it next Wednesday.
Well, I appreciate that offer. Thank you. When you introduce yourself, are you introducing yourself just in name and not representing your company? So do you say, hi, I'm Phil?
I learned to completely take away, if anything, I'll say that I'm a real estate professional. I will not say realtor. I will not say investor. I've tried coming in with one or the other hat, and I've had much better results just saying, hey, my name's Chad, I'm a real estate professional. I don't, I used to say my company name, my team name, my office name, whatever. I tried different things, and it's just a much smoother, hey, this is Chad, I sent you a letter, but I just wanted to follow up and make sure you got it and you understood why we sent it. And so I'm Chad, and I'm talking to Phil, and this conversation is about people. We'll eventually make this conversation about houses and property and whatever, but right now this is a conversation about people. Not businesses, not houses.
Makes sense. Thank you. And if there's anybody else that has some other suggestions, I'd be open to it as well. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and Phil, for you and anybody else on the call that does have suggestions or other situations like that, please come next Wednesday and please participate. Role play with Chad, and Chad will be the agent. You don't have to be as smooth as him. You be the seller, and he'll be the agent, and walk through that in any situation like that. It goes for anybody else on the call if you'd like to join us next Wednesday.
Is it the same call-in information?
Same call-in information, but it's Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, so it's an hour later.
And is that every first of the month? Is that right?
Correct. Every first Wednesday of the month.
First Wednesday of the month. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and then we do these role play calls every Thursday at the same time.
Right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Great start, Phil. Thank you for your participation. Phone number ending in 7174. You're up next.
Hi, this is Chris. Hey, I'm curious to know. Nicole was on earlier. I'm curious to hear what other people are using when it comes to what services they provide, or they at least mention while they're on during the call. To sort of, I guess, invoke an engagement from the personal representative.
So the hooks that most people want to talk about or that they respond to in the letters, 90% of people at least want to hear about a cash offer. So we definitely recommend that you have investors in your book of business so you can, you have that in your quiver, so to speak. Estate sale companies are another. I kind of call them the golden safety net because I rarely use them, but the security that comes with them knowing that you've got their back and you have kind of a distribution channels for both selling, donating, and trashing personal property is a huge comfort to them. So that one's really big. It's really endless. I mean, you got to look at how big of a level of service you want to provide. I mean, senior moving companies, if you have a surviving spouse in a home that can't handle the property maintenance and needs to downsize into a condo, you could have property managers that you can introduce them to in senior communities. You can have senior moving services. Financial advisors can help the surviving family avoid probate in future generations. Estate planning attorneys can do the same thing. It's just think about how many ways can I help somebody in this stressful situation, and your team will kind of show itself to you. And you probably know most of those people already.
And Chad, I was going to add, we've had a few agents have real good success by bringing in an auction company because probably 10% of these people are going to be anxious enough to sell to take an investor offer, for 70 cents on the dollar, but almost none of them want top dollar. And we've had a few good agents also offer an auction company because properties sell quickly at auction like an investor was buying it, but they usually go for a higher price, closer to market value. So that's now if you are an investor, you might not want to include the auction company, but if you're a typical realtor, we've had a few agents comment that was a nice extra one that people seem to appreciate also. But like Chad said, don't let that stop you from getting started. And my own experience was the same. Honestly, a majority of the deals that I did, they didn't do anything. I emailed the paperwork, it came back. They mailed me a key. We put a lockbox on it, and it sold. But it was a big security, and it made them feel better that I had their backs covered. These people, they're 1,000 miles away, and sometimes they don't even know what's in the house. We had an agent about 6 months ago that was what was stopping it from selling. I don't even remember the agent's name, but they went over, videotaped the entire property, dropped it in a Dropbox, sent it to the seller, and said, okay, pick out what you want to keep, and I'll lock that stuff in the garage, and then we'll get rid of the rest and let's get it listed. So helping them dispose of the personal property is huge, and having the investor is huge. And I rarely use the contractor, but that would be more for someone that wants top dollar, really wants to fix up the house, or maybe if the roof is leaking and you're not going to be able to get a mortgage on the property without fixing something, that would be the time when you would probably call in the contractor. Make sense, Chris?
Yeah, no, definitely, and it's not preventing me from calling. I just want to be able to have a better repertoire of things to offer. I also have gone through this myself personally, and I'm just wondering, does that sound hokey?
Absolutely not. I mean, it's unfortunately a lot of our subscribers have, and the ones with the most powerful why are usually the ones that have gone through it. And as a real estate professional, was it still stressful for you, even though you kind of knew you knew how to handle the biggest asset, but was it still stressful?
Yeah, of course, and it was out of state, so it made it even more. I had to fly back and forth 3 different times to get the property ready.
I mean, that's empathy in its best form, right? So I know how you feel. That's how I felt, and I found it to be overwhelming too. And that's really why I reached out to help, you and everyone else that I can, because I do know a lot about real estate. I can help you handle the largest asset, and I've gone ahead and put everything else in place to help you with even the things that are not related to real estate. And I think if we just sit down for 30 minutes, you'll be amazed at what we can do and how much of this we can take off your plate. How's Friday at 1?
Right. I'm having some success with setting appointments with attorneys as well.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
how are you? Are you doing phone calls, letters? What's your strategy there?
I'm strictly calling right now. So sort of my intro is, I go through the whole thing. Hi, this is Chris. I'm looking for so and so, the personal representative. I've noticed that you're the personal representative for such a state. Is that correct? I can make sure that that's the right way, because I've gone through it a couple times, and they're like, who are you and what the hell are you talking about? So I make sure that I confirm that they are the personal representative. I offer my condolences, and then I basically say that, hey, I'm following up on the letter detailing how my team, helps you through the probate process. Did you receive it? And obviously they're going to say no, but at least it allows me to get the conversation going.
Right. Perfect. And so these are attorneys who are the personal representative, you're saying?
Well, so what I've done is, so some of them I've kind of separated them a little bit. So I've been calling attorneys and just saying, this is the service that I offer. I'm a professional real estate salesman. I'm calling to see if I can discover if my professional expertise can benefit you and the clients that you're working with. Could I set up a brief 10-minute appointment with you, discover if that's a possibility? A lot of times I'm getting no, but I've had success with getting some yeses, and usually it's I'll give you back to my receptionist and she'll set up the appointment.
Awesome, that's great. So the face-to-face is where everybody has been most successful, Chris, and just focus on showing them how you can provide the same level of professionalism and ethics to their clients that they can, and get the most money for the assets and get the file off his or her desk the quickest. And usually when you find attorneys that are open like that, they'll latch on to you. And Rodger, I did see, was on the call earlier. I mean, he's even getting divorce referrals from attorneys who he met through probate. So there's a lot of business that can come from those attorney relationships once they realize that, hey, this is a different kind of real estate agent. Let's hang on to this guy. So. Yeah,
and I've actually had a conversation with a lady the other day. She doesn't know what to do. She's been designated as the personal representative, but she doesn't even have an attorney, and she doesn't know what to do. And she's like, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know how to pay for all this stuff until it sells. So tomorrow I'm going to bring that lead with me and see if I can't get the conversation started with the attorney and see if he'll help her out while I'm in the actual office. So I'm bringing some type of value to him right off the bat.
That's awesome. Good for you.
So you think that's a good idea?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, any reciprocation and building these referral networks. I mean, it's a nursing home is another great source. I mean, if you can refer surviving spouses to a great nursing home or retirement facility, then you're putting revenue into that business. Chances are they're going to refer families to you who need to sell homes in order to get Medicare, or who just need to sell homes, because they know so and so's never coming home again. So any kind of reciprocation that you can do with any of these folks, nursing home attorneys, it's going to come back to you.
Right, and I'm actually, and I don't mean to take up all the time here, but it's just jog something loose. I've seen on some of the leads where there's one particular, nursing home or assisted living where, it's like 5 or 6 of them, and the personal representative is actually that particular home, and then I do see that there's an attorney who's handling all of them, and it's a bunch. And I've called him a couple times with no return call. Unfortunately, he's like in a totally different county, hundreds of miles away. Continue to just call him, send him letters? What do you think?
So you've obviously tried the phone calls, and that doesn't seem to be working. I would send him a letter. Pick out a specific one and reference the deceased name and the docket number.
Yep.
And just say, listen, this is one of many, or this is one of, and I would actually count them up and say, I've noticed, we're real estate professionals. I've gone through this personally, and I've decided to really build this as a pillar in my real estate profession. And in doing that, we researched the probate for the last X number of months and noticed that you have worked on X number of files in this scenario. Being that you're so far out of town, I thought it would be helpful that you know the one and only real estate agent who really specializes in the same space you're specializing in. When could we talk? And just to, use the docket number to get through the door, but turn the letter into, stroke his ego a little bit. I see you're doing extremely well. We are 100 miles away. I can be your feet on the street here. When can we talk so we can see how we can help each other? And I would try that.
Okay, and I also call and I get a lot. There's other extensions, and one of them is like either a legal aid or a legal clerk. Is that someone I should try to talk to?
For that firm, you mean?
Yeah, for that particular firm.
Yeah, I would talk to anybody who would talk to me to make that get that introduction.
Right.
If he's out of town, he or she, I'm assuming. I don't usually have it.
It's a he, and he's actually our personal representative for the state, which makes me believe he probably doesn't do anything.
So if he's out of town and he can find a real estate agent that's going to coach his clients through selling, the asset that contains 80% of the value.
Mm-hmm.
And you can show him how you can make his life easier, get homes cleaned out quicker, get them on the market, get them sold, and get the files off his desk so more can come in, then he's going to be interested in having that conversation. So whoever you have to get to first to set up that, in 10 minutes you're going to blow him away. I would talk to whoever I could to get that 10-minute conversation.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Chris, and I want to congratulate you. 2 things I wanted to add real quick. You're getting 300-plus leads a month, so the fact that you're working both the executors and the attorneys is remarkable. And I would suggest that you look down that attorney column if you don't have time to call them all, and you're probably doing this, but go after the players like you're doing. Go after we always say that. Look at who's doing 3, 4, 5 a month and put them on the top of your list. The other comment I wanted to make about something you mentioned with the reciprocal, remember it works both ways. We've talked about this before. The estate sale company can often be the first point of contact for the executors because it is such a hot button with them. Make sure if you're giving business to an estate sale company that they're doing the same. Just let them know if somebody calls you first, please refer it to me, and I'm going to do the same for you.
Right. Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Great participation. Thank you so much for your contribution. We have 2 more people in the queue. Let's move on to phone number ending in 0500. You're up.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Jenny. How are you?
Oh, great. Hi. I want to ask about the probate mastery training. I know there's one coming up on the 6th of February, correct?
That's right.
There's a new class on February the 6th.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, how many days of this training classes, or it happens on one day?
So it's a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we start at 2 p.m. each day and go between an hour and 2 hours.
Okay, so it starts on the 6th. Let me see the calendar. So the 6th would be, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Starts at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Eastern.
Right, Eastern. So it's about 2 to 4, right? 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I just want to know that.
Great. Excellent. One more person in the queue. Phone number ending in 1003. You're up.
Oh, this is Rodger Lisi. I got on the call on my cell phone at home eating my lunch sandwich, and then I kept trying to hit *6, and if for some reason or other my cell phone doesn't do that, and I don't have a landline at the house, so I came back to the office, logged on, and here I am.
Wow, I'm glad thank you for going to all that trouble to talk to us, Rodger. We appreciate it.
I just want to report I just signed a listing agreement on a second property on a 3-property estate. The other property sold in December. This one I suspect will sell pretty quickly. It's going to be an investor buy and hold property. And I've got my divorce hearing that Chad mentioned. My divorce house is scheduled to close tomorrow. That was a referral from an attorney who asked me to do that. I sat in the court for that. I've got 2 others that are in the pipeline. One is supposed to be up and coming on in February. That one I hauled a trash trailer to the house, and they've got their own people finishing that out, and we're trying to do something with that. And I disposed of the tires that were in the yard. And I've got another one that is about 3 acres in Springdale for voting, and I haven't even finished my following up on all my calls for the January. I'm still finishing up December, and I'm really getting started on my January now on my calls and follow-ups. So, guys, the system works. Pay attention to what Chad says as far as the process of your calls. Do not fear. I started this, and I hated calling initially, and what I have found from a very smart person was that the fear that I have of making the phone calls is exceeded by the person who receives my phone calls. They fear that I'm trying to sell them something, and the only way that I can calm them down and alleviate the fear is to remove the fear from myself and be confident in the call. Look for them to help out, and that's all I got to report for today, and my word of wisdom.
Wow, what a great way to end the
Rodger,
call.
I had a realization yesterday. So if I kept track there, you just talked about 5 listings you have on deck, right?
Yeah.
And yesterday, I was looking through. I realized you get an average of 35 leads a month. Is that right?
No, it's more. It's closer to 20, closer to about 20 a month.
Okay. So for everybody on the call listening, you got 5 listings on deck, and this is not his first 5 either, off of 20-ish leads per month. So, and I thought you were getting more than that until yesterday. I was like, wait a minute, is that right? So kudos to you, and congratulations on all that success, and thanks so much for always sharing with everybody.
Well, I'm going to get that thing to you that I promised that I would. Thanks for the stick. The selfie stick. I can tell you that I have to make the most of the opportunities that I get, and I understand that I'm still a realtor and I'm providing a huge service for these folks, and so for every listing that I get, I am putting a coming soon sign on as soon as I can get something as it on there legally. And sometimes I'm getting both sides of the sale. I am adding people, family members, to my sphere of influence, and I'm marketing within my sphere of influence. And when I knock on doors, I'm finding listings and sales in the neighborhood of the listing. So that's just real estate skills. That's real estate 101. And I just try. When you're getting 20 a month, you got to make the best use of it. I've had about a 500% return on my investment in 2016.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And Rodger, I was going to say what is so impressive is you didn't come out of the box, like gangbusters. And now I know why. I didn't realize you were only getting 20 leads either. But you have been. You've gotten the most with the fewest number of leads of anybody that's ever used our system, and I was going to ask you why, and I think you just explained it. You're not doing one thing, you're doing everything, and you're really treating it like an important niche of your business. So, wow, thank you so much for sharing. I think it's a great way to end the call. Chad, anything else you want to add to what Rodger said?
No, I couldn't be happier for you. Thanks so much for sharing with everybody.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, Rodger. And I always say to the agents that are new, too often somebody like Rodger will get real successful and they're too busy to come back on the calls. And you're really we talk about, value first and pay it forward, and you're always willing to do that. So we really thank you. And we thank everybody who participated today, newbie or a veteran like Rodger. Everybody brings something to these calls. Please, guys, all of you come back next Wednesday and share in the role play call. Same phone number, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And I always like to end these calls. This is a great call today, a lot of good ideas. You took 30 minutes or you took 45 minutes to be here. Take one idea, one thing that someone like Rodger said today that inspired you. Go out and put it into action and come back next Thursday and share your results with the group. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Make it a great week, and we will talk to you next Wednesday.